Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to walk you through my ultimate budget planner in Notion. I'll be showing you both the basic version, which is super simple for beginners, but also the full advanced version that I'm personally using right now to manage every part of my finances. So, whether you're starting now with budgeting or you're ready to go deeper with stuff related to finances, this whole video will guide you step by step. And with that being said, let's start with the basic template. So, how do you get this template and add it to your Notion workspace? So, basically, if you're getting it from the Notion marketplace, just click on Add to Workspace. If you're seeing this template on a website or through a link, simply click the duplicate icon in the top right corner and it will instantly copy into your workspace. So when you open the basic template, you'll land on the main dashboard and you'll see two sections. On the left side, there's a quick add buttons to enter either incomes or expenses. On the right side, you'll see the balance overview. So this is where you'll see your total income for the month, your expenses, and also how much money you have left. It's a really simple but powerful way to get a snapshot of your finances. And each month you'll add a new page to keep things organized. So to create a new month, go to the balance overview and click on add a new page. For example, type October 2025 and that's your new monthly progress page. At first, you might notice this page doesn't show up in the overview. That's because the overview is filtered to only display months that actually have linked data. Don't worry, as soon as you start entering or adding incomes or expenses and link them to October 2025, the page we just created, it will appear automatically. Now let's add some income for the month. You can do this in two ways. Click on the new income button on the dashboard or open the income database directly. So when adding income, fill out the date received, a description like a paycheck or freelance project or others, the amount, and most importantly, the property called month. You'll see a section for the 50, 30, 20% rule. If you don't know this method, it's one of the simplest ways to structure a budget. So basically 50% of your incomes goes to things like needs, like rent, food, and utilities, and 30% goes to wants like hobbies and entertainment, and the rest 20% is reserved for saving, investment, and debt repayment. So you don't have to follow these percentages exactly. You can adjust them depending on your situation. So once you know your total income, you can plan your budget with the 50, 30, 20% rule section. For example, if your income for the month is $9,000, just type it in and drag the value down. The database will automatically divide it into 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings. This rule is just a guideline. You can adjust the percentages to match your lifestyle and situation. So scrolling down, you'll find the budget categories. This is where you allocate specific amounts to things like housing, groceries, transportation, or anything else you need. If I stay within my plan amount, I'll see a check mark. If I just go over it, I'll see an X. So this way I always know whether I'm on track or overspending. For example, let's divide our income into these categories. So for example, $2,000 for housing, $500 for transportation, $1,000 for groceries, and $200 for utilities, etc. As you fill in the numbers, the totals will update automatically. You can compare your planned budget with the percentages from the 50, 30, 20% rule. Now let's add an expense. Just like income, you can either click on the new expense button on the dashboard or go into the expenses database. When adding an expense, fill in the date, the category, the amount, and link it to the correct month. For example, October 2025. The last step is what makes the template powerful. So by linking each income and expenses to its monthly progress page, the balance overview will automatically calculate the total income for the month, the total expenses, but also the remaining balance and your progress compared to your planned budget. So each month, all you need to do is create a new monthly progress page and add your incomes and expenses and make sure they're linked into the right month. Another important feature is the financial goals or sinking funds, whatever you want to call it. Maybe you're saving for a laptop or a trip or even just building an emergency fund. All you have to do is enter your target amount, how much you've already saved, and the template shows you how much is left. You can also add how much you want to contribute each month to reach your goal. I've been using the basic budget template ever since I started university. So back then I didn't need much, so something minimal to track the basics was enough. But over time, I felt the need to upgrade, to add more structure and detail. And that's why I create this new template, my all-in-one budget planner. I've been using it this year so far. My goal is that when you see how it works, everything will make sense and hopefully save you the trial and error that I went through. So now, before I dive into the walkthrough, let me be clear. Every tool serves its purpose. So if the free template works for you, then that's amazing. If you find another creator's template that fits your need, go for it. What I'm showing you today is simply what worked for me and what helped me see real results while budgeting. The templates I share now are the ones that stuck and the ones that made a difference in my life. That's why I share them with you. And one last thing before we get into it, remember that a template is just a tool. You don't need this template to be successful or any other tool that is out there. You can do it with a pen and paper if that works for you. Templates and digital tools just make things faster, more visual, and sometimes it's easier to stick with. So don't put pressure on yourself that you need to find the perfect tool. This is just one option. All right, let's get into the advanced budget planner. So when you first open the template, you see the start here page. This is where I need you to go first. This is your setup guide. Once you've done the setup, you'll arrive at the main dashboard. On the left side, you'll notice quick buttons that let you add new entries. A new income, a new expense, a transfer, subscription, or a finance goal. These buttons are for convenience. You don't have to dig through databases every time, just you click on them and add your data in seconds. Just below, you'll see the monthly report. This is where all your key numbers live. So maybe total income for the month, total expenses, your net balance. So it's income minus expenses, and even a progress bar that shows how much of your income you've spent so far. For example, if your income is $4,000 and you've spent 400, the bar will show that you used up 10% of your income. Scrolling down, you'll find the linked pages and databases. One of the most powerful sections here is the sinking funds and financial goals. This is where you track saving goals. Maybe you want to buy a laptop, a car, furniture for your home, etc. Or you just build an emergency fund. For each goal, you set a target amount, a start date, and how much you want to contribute monthly. So the template then calculates everything for you: how much you've already saved, how much remains, whether you're on track or behind, and even how much you need to save monthly if you've missed a few contributions. I will show you everything in just a minute. Next, we have the accounts section. Unlike the basic template, this one allows you to track multiple accounts. So, for example, checking, savings, credit card, cash, loan, and even investment. You enter the current balance of each account, and if it's a debt, you enter a negative number so your totals are accurate. You can also connect accounts to each other. For example, your checking account funding your savings or your credit card being paid from your another checking account. This way, all your accounts are not distracted, but actually linked together in a logical way. So moving on the budget categories, this is where you plan your monthly spending. This view allows you to know how much you've spent and your progress for the month. So then we have the recurring expenses and subscriptions. So this section is designed for bills and subscriptions you pay every month. So like rent, utilities, Netflix, Spotify, or even any bill you can think of. Speaking of which, the transaction database is really the heart of this template. Instead of having separate table for income, expense, and transfers, everything is in one database. You can filter it by type whenever you want, but keeping everything in one place makes it feel like a proper ledger. Each entry shows the dates, the amount, the type, the account, and the category. Now let's move on the second page of the template. This is one of the first things I recommend you do when you get the template because it helps you set the right mindset for your budgeting journey. For example, you can create a review for September 2025 and add reflections from the end of August. Here you write down your financial priorities, set 3 focus words for the season, for example, intention, savings, mindset, and answer a series of quick questions designed to help you better understand your current financial situation. I've also included a link that is not mine to an external resource that explains sinking funds in detail. Here you'll find another detailed view of your accounts along with all your sinking funds grouped together in one place. This page gives you a clearer overview of your financial goals and how they connect with your accounts. So let me show you an example of how the financial goals work inside this template. Let's say I want to save for a new phone. I can start by creating a new goal and even add a cover image to make it more visual. And then I'll enter the target date for when I want to buy it. So next I need to choose which account this sinking fund will come from. I always recommend using a separate account for each sinking fund if you can. It helps you stay organized and avoid mixing money between goals. But for this example, since it's a demo, I'll just connect it to the current cash account. Now I'll enter the start date, let's say the 1st of September, and the target amount. Let's pretend the phone costs $1,000. The template immediately calculates everything for me. Right away, I'll see that in my saving accounts, I already have $200. So it shows my current savings, my goal amount of $1,000, and the remaining balance I need to reach, which in this case is $800. It also gives me a monthly deposit calculation since I want to buy the phone by November and I'm starting in September. Here's the really helpful part. Let's say life happens, I mess up and I don't save anything for 2 or 3 months, the template would automatically adjust and recalculate based on your today's date. It tells you exactly how much you need to save in order to catch up. So instead, $171 a month, for example, it might say I need to save now closer to 1,000 in one go if I want to get back on track. There's also a status badge that makes everything crystal clear. For the phone goal I just created, the badge shows I'm on track because I've been saving consistently. But for some of my other goals where I skip a few contributions, the status shows behind. So that way, at a glance, I can immediately see which goals are safe and which ones need my attention. One of the key actions you can do here is making a transfer. A form will pop up and all you need to fill the details, for example, the firm account and the two account properties. So let's say I want to move money from my checking account into one of my sinking funds. I just select the checking account as a source. As soon as I close the form, the transfer is logged and the balances update automatically. If later I want to make another transfer, maybe this time from a different account, like a second checking account, I can follow the exact same process. Every transfer is saved and recorded properly, so nothing slips through the cracks. What's really nice about this page is that it also gives you a filtered view of the transaction database. That means you don't see every single expense or income mixed in. You only shown the transactions related to your sinking funds. And whenever you want to add a new sinking fund, I recommend creating it here in this section. The next section of the template is the budgeting page. And this is one of the places you'll visit every single month when you're planning your finances. So this page is built around the 50, 30, 20% rule that we've talked about earlier, but it's completely flexible. You can add as many categories as you like or delete the ones you don't need. If you only want to track savings or investment, you can remove the debt and adjust the percentages. The important thing is that all your categories together always add up to 100%. So if you decide on 60% for needs, 30% for wants, and 10% for savings, everything balances correctly. What's nice here is that the income is calculated for you. You don't need to re-enter it, and the amount you've already logged in your monthly report will show up in this view. So if you recorded $4,000, 200 of income in your report, it will appear here. And the template instantly calculates how much of that belongs to each category. Now the part you do need to fill in is the budgeted amount for each subcategory. For example, under needs, you might have transportation, utilities, and food. You'll enter how much you plan to spend for each category. As you record your actual expenses throughout the month, the database will update to show you how much of that budget you've used and how much is left. A feature I personally love on this page is the month-to-month comparison. For every category, you can see how much you spent last month compared to this month. You will see the difference immediately. This is really helpful for people just starting out budgeting, so you can see your progress over time. And because subscriptions are also part of the budgeting plan, I've included a subscription section here as well. This connects directly to your subscription tracker, so you can see which one are already paid, which one are upcoming, and even log payment directly from this page. This database only shows the bills that are due within the same month. So finally below you'll find a filtered transaction database. This one only shows expenses, so you can focus purely on your spending without getting distracted by income or transfers. You'll see the amount, the account it was paid from, and the category it belongs to. Now let's move on to the recurring expenses page. This section is where you manage your fixed, repeating payments, things like rent, utilities, insurance, and any other bills that come around every month. The way it works is really simple. You'll see a list of all your recurring expenses along with their amounts and due dates. Whenever you pay one of them, just click on Paid Now button and the payment will be logged instantly into your transaction database. When a new month starts, you just reset them by clicking the button to uncheck all the expenses. They'll reappear in the list as unpaid, ready to be tracked again for the new month. This way, you only know exactly which bills have been already been taken care of and which one are still due. I also included your subscription tracker here as well because subscriptions are a type of recurring expenses as well. Things like Netflix, Spotify, or even your Adobe Creative Cloud subscription all show up along your fixed bill. Last but not least, let's talk about the cleanup page. Think of this as the maintenance hub of the template. It's one of the most important places to check on a regular basis because it makes sure everything in your system is working correctly. So here the template automatically highlights anything that's missing information or not properly linked. For example, if you enter a transfer but forgot to connect it to your monthly report, it will show up here. Or if you created a subscription page that doesn't belong anywhere, it will appear here too. So basically, whenever there are properties that are left empty, whether that's an income without a monthly report, an expenses without a category, or a transfer missing its link, they'll be listed in on this page. That way, you don't have to dig through all your databases to find mistakes. For instance, let's say I logged a transfer but forgot to link it to the monthly report, the cleanup page will flag it. All I need to do is edit the property connected to the month, and once I do that, the error is gone. Or maybe I accidentally created a subscription page that I don't really actually need. I simply delete it here and it won't clutter up my database anymore. So that was the walkthrough of the Advanced Budget Planner. It's much more advanced than the basic version, but also much more powerful. With this, you can manage your entire financial life in one place. Your accounts, your goals, your subscription, your monthly budget, and your transactions. I truly believe this template can save you months or even years of trial and error because it brings everything together in a clear, organized way. And like I said before, you don't really need this template to succeed, but if you want a system that does the heavy lifting for you, it's here for you to use. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and find it useful. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments section down below. You'll find a link to both templates in the description. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Notion tutorials and tips. See you in the next one.